guys. Today I just want to walk you through um, an application I just worked on. It's on React Native, a mobile application, and basically it's just a chat app that entails you log in, you create an account, more so like you sign up and you log in and you're able to chat. So I'm going to walk you through all the things I put in place. Basically, I'm going to show you the things I use in my main app, which is home, the application. This is the root. This is the root component, and I make use of React navigation, and which also you can install in your project with you can install it in your project, and it's called React Navigation slash native. And also I use Stack Navigator too. This is what you use to stack all the components you want to navigate. And always make sure that when you're using navigation in your React Native, you have the home page, the first component you want to show. Let it be at the top, like I have here. The first component I want is this get started. That's the component I want to show first before any other component in my page, in all the pages, all the components. So after which I have this is the first component, and this is the second component, and this is the third component, and this is the just as you want it to look like. So basically that's just it. Also, I'm not going to be talking about the code block of codes today, or how I did a function, or how I did one. I just want to walk you through the application, basically, not really tech thing today. So, and I'm going to show you my database, my backend database, how all these things have been stored in my database. Also, I'm using email and password authentication for this app. I didn't use Google authentication this time around. I only used email and password authentication. I'm going to show you also how you see the interaction from with the user interface and the backend database. So now on my in my hot in my Firebase now, right? Actually, in my Firebase account, I don't have any user as at now. So create once I create an account, is going to reflect in my database. So let me just walk you through. This is the first. Let's say this is the phone and this is another phone. So once I go to launch and I go to sign up, let's say I just have a name here. Also, you can actually implemented keyboard, a toggle keyboard. I actually implemented so you can have you don't have to. I mean, it's a phone, right? So you have to use the keyboard on your phone. So there's a function that you use. It's called keyboard sign up. It's called keyboard. Yeah, this one, keyboard avoiding view is what I use. Technically, when you activate when you set the keyboard here, when you set the keyboard here, it's going to show. But the thing is, it's going to be up. It's going to be covering some part of the screen. So with keyboard avoiding view, it helps you to set um, the keyboard vertical offset. It helps you to set it in a way that it doesn't cover the content of the page. So that is how this functionality is. That's how I set up this functionality. So now let's say I have a name and I said the name is let me just give a random name, Troy. I said Troy Adam. And I have email. Let's say I said the email is Troy. And also never mind if my email address is started with a capital letter. I already have a function that set everything to lowercase. So Troy dot Adams at gmail.com. Let's just use that for now. And I have phone number. Let's say I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the phone number, and I have the password to be. Let's say we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Confirm password. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So once I sign in, account is successfully created, right? So let's go back to our database and check what's happening there. So if I refresh this database, you're going to see what's going to happen. See, it already created Troy Adam. And if I go to my real-time database, I have a user here called Troy Adams. You see, all the data are imputed rather. Everything is right here. And the good thing is that Firebase database automatically gives it a GUID, you know. No, sorry, I know this GUID was a function I created using GUID. Let me just show you in my code. This GUID, when if I go down to my sign up page, and when I click on submit button, which is undo, no, not that one, undo sign up. So I click sign up, and I go to where the sign up is. So in my block of code, I go to Firebase. I call authentication on Firebase, and I say create user with email and password. And it takes two parameters, two arguments, and you have here .then I'm getting back. So when I set this .then, this is what's gonna happen. So it's using the user credentials and it's returning this for me, you know. So, and if there's any error, I catch the error. So also, now I want to set my database. I want to set all the inputs now to my database. So when I call the database again, also I use rep on my database, and what am I referencing to, which is the user, right? So with the child UUID. So this is where I get the UUID from. So this UUID you're seeing here, and which is here also, what I did was I installed UUID, which is you see UUID from UID, which is it just helps you to auto generate a unique key code that is just basically assigned to a particular element or a particular component, that how you want to use it in your application. So I use the UUID here. I said the child is UUID. Now hold on. At this point, these parts are not they don't exist. This part don't exist in the database. But this block of code will create all this path. You see, so I have a child of UID, and because I want my child UID to be, I also want that variable in the I also want that variable in the properties of that child, of that first user. So that is why I have it also set it here, so that I can make reference to it whenever I want to make reference to it in my code, in my application later, maybe somewhere in my application. If I want to maybe use it to condition a statement or condition for particular functionality, I can also use that. So everything I imputed, I have it at the backend database now. You can see everything. Like I said to you the other time, I said never bother about the first cap letter, because I already said set it to lowercase. Whatever, maybe if you make a typo error, it's going to set everything to lowercase. So that is what we have here. And they said error is going to throw me an error. And if it's successful, I already said it should give me an alert. If the successful say account successfully created, that was the alert you saw at the when I clicked sign up all the time. So that being said, so I have it now, but at this point there's no user. I only have one user, so that is why you're not seeing anything on my user list, on my account list, like contact list. There's nothing. So if I sign up another account, it's going to reflect here. Let's watch how that happens. So if I go to the next phone and I say sign up, and I say okay, here let's say we have Brenda. We have Brenda here. Brenda, and I say Brenda Smith, and I say email address is brenda.smith@gmail.com, and I say phone number. I can say 0987, like that. So And I said the password, maybe I give it a password of 123456. And I said the same thing, confirm password 123456. And I said sign up. Account successfully created. If you notice very well on my database, in my database rather, another account was created, which is this. Using Brenda Smith at gmail.com, Brenda Smith. And now you have Brenda Smith on Adam Troy's list, contact list, and you have Adam Troy on Brenda Smith contact list. You see? Okay, now I actually want the name of the person that signed in to show here. If I want to do that, it's quite easy. This is how you can do that, so that you can know who signed in, you know. So that way we could just go to my site. Now I said I wasn't going to do any programming, any code, but I mean, it's a live, right? So let's go to the header. At this point here, I want to have the name of the user, current username, which I already have it here, so I have an access to it here already. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my GXS file, which is here. So I'm going to go next to edit, which is this one, right? And it already has this. So I'm going to say this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to create another view that is going to contain a text. I'm not going to say much about the rules of how to write in React Native. I mean, probably going forward, well, because I'm going to start a series of React Native, so I'm going to be showing you the rules and regulations and how to write codes and what to use, how you don't use div, how you use view in replace of view of div, and how if you want to have a text on your screen, how you use text instead of p, instead of h1, h2, h3, h4, h2, h6, you know, all that. So let's say we said name here, and if I save that, notice here you have its name, right? It's inside this or background, but that is not what we want, right? So we can actually cut this out. And what I'm going to do basically is that I'm going to create a new div here that's going to house the edit button and the name, which is going to be, I'm going to create a new div here. I'm going to call it this way, and I'm going to paste what I cut, and I'm going to cut this one also, and I'm going to paste it here. So if I save, you see now I already have it on top of, stack on top of each other, which is good because that's what we want, right? So I'm going to style it right now. Styling here is different from styling in web application. It's quite different. So there's no CSS here, but what you have is just style files. So let's give it a name. Let's say container header left, Control C. So let's call it container header left content. So we can copy that one because we're going to use it down. So when we go down to where we style all our, where we have our styles, container header content. So I always like to have my styles in alphabetical order. So when I'm searching for something, it's going to be easier for me to locate what I'm searching. So once we have that now, we want to style that part. Just keep a gaze at this part. See how I'm going to style it right now. So I'm going to say flex direction, and I'm going to set it to row, because technically in React Native, flex direction by default is not row, it's column. Unlike when unlike as you have it in web base web application, when you have when you have it in a row, but in web application you have it in column. So now that we have that, we're going to set the alignment. When we align to center. We align to center, and that makes everything in center. Now notice very well they're close to each other, right? Okay, fine. That's not a problem. We're going to fix that right now, just in a minute. So we go down straight up to where we have our edit, and we'll go to edit. The edit has, this is the This is the style name. So let's give it a padding, imagine right of maybe a little bit of 10 or 12, 15. So we give it a margin right. We give it a margin right of 10. Let's check 10. Let's see what happens. Oh, well, good. Let's make it 15. So which is nice, right? So let's now go to the name now and style the name. So where do we have the name? Yeah, this is the name. This is the name. So let's give it a style. I'll say styles dot username. Let's say call it. Let's say call it current username. Current username. So we can say copy this. Okay, before that, let's just, because we're going to style the text itself. Technically, we're not actually styling the whole name. We're just going to style the name itself. So we're going to put it here. I'm going to tell you a reason why you can't style at this level, because when you're styling color, font size, and all those things that is particular to the text, you can't style it in view. It's not going to work in view. So let's just say text here to make the name shorter. So when I go down, I go to current. Let me see where I can put the current. See you, yeah, V. So I can say font. Let's leave the font size for now. Let's just change the color and see what's gonna give us. So I'm gonna say color dot from secondary. Let me use secondary. Okay, perfect. That is what we want, which is showing, which is good. So I'm gonna go to now. How can I dynamically populate this? This should show the person, to show the name of the person that logged or that signed in. Pretty much, we already have it pretty much here. So you already know that this use effect hook actually, when this page loads, it goes to a Firebase database and it gets us the current user and all the user. So what I'm going to use is, now I already set user details to here. I already have a state value here. It's use states. So I'm going to say this one dot name. It's going to give me what I want. Let's try it. I mean, we're recording, right? So we can just try. Where's it? Okay, here. So I can do this. V dot name, and let's see if it works. Perfect, it works. You see, so we have it now. So we have the name right now, right? Which is perfect. So Adam logged in and Brenda logged in here, right? If do we want to style it more? What do you want to do? I think it's okay this way. I mean, it's just a text, right? So that's perfect. If you want to change the color, I mean, you can just do this. It's quite simple. Go to current user and say, you can say, okay, we already changed the color, right? We can say, okay, let's give it the color of blue. We can say message. Mind you, all these colors are already coded, so that is why you're saying it this way. So I already coded the message, the colors somewhere else. I have my color component, which is here inside my constants. So I already have all this color here, right? So that's where I'm getting all those colors from. So in case you're wondering that where is it getting all this? So I imported the component into every component I want to use it in, and just use it basically that way. So now we have this set up. We have these two users, right? So what we want to do now is want to exchange messages and see how it goes. Mind you, at this point, there's no message path at all. There's no message path in our database. There's no reference to message path here. But once we start charting, it's going to reflect, because we already have a code for that. So Troy is chatting with Brenda, and Brenda is saying, hi Brenda, right? Hi Brenda. Hi, Brenda Smith. How are you doing today? And Troy is gonna get it. Brenda is gonna get a message. Now look at it. Look at something. It's pretty wonderful, right? See, Troy is this is Troy's phone. Once you click on Brenda, Brenda name shows here, right? The same thing we just did with Troy. You know, it's still the same thing I did here also. And oh shoot, that went off. Okay. Hi, Brenda Smith. How are you doing today? And once I click send, now it's been sent, right? And see, I have the time it was sent and the date, you know, perfect, right? Nice user interface. And once you click on Troy, you see the message came here. And now, Brenda wants to respond to Troy. Hey, Troy. I am excellent, my dear. Did you sleep well? And once I send it, Troy received it also. Is it so perfect, right? Isn't it wonderful? It's wonderful, right? So, and you have Troy's initials, Brenda's initials, you know, coded that way, which is perfect. And you have the individual numbers showing by the side. This is Troy's number. This is Brenda's number. Let's confirm it. This is Troy. This is Brenda Smith, right? And this is the phone number is 098, right? Brenda Smith is 098. Troy is 1234, and it's 1234. Good thing again is you you there's some authentications. If you try to log in and you are and the username and password or it does not exist, it is going to give you an alert. It's going to give you a message. Let me show you that. Let's say Brenda wants to log out now. So Brenda logs out. Brenda logs out to the home page, right? So once I want to log in, I said Brenda dot Smith, right? At and I said mail.com. Maybe I omitted the Gmail, right? And the password, where's Brenda Smith here? The password is 1111 in 6 places, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I click login. See, it said there is no user record corresponding to this identifier. The user may have been deleted. You know, so it's telling you that there's no user of such. And also, if you try to log in like this, it's going to tell you the email is badly formatted. Maybe you just decide to click on login. It's not going to go. You know, it's not going to go. It's going to tell you that your email is badly formatted. And if the password also doesn't correspond with the password in the database, it's not going to let you in. Let's try that. Let's try that. Brenda.smith at gmail.com. And I go to and I say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, it's 6, right? It's 6 characters, right? And I say 5 and I say login. See, the password is invalid or the user does not have a password, so it's not going to let you in. So those are the what is it called? The authentications. You know, the security just the security check. So let's log in again. .smith at gmail.com and I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it logs me in. I don't know why that is slow. I think my system is really it's getting the heat and it's so slow. But it's okay. So what else again? You can actually delete also. You can delete the chat. You can delete. So you can delete. And when you delete, when you refresh, it comes back. You may be wondering why is it coming back? Because I have the data in my database, so it's going to come back. But the thing is, I don't want to have a functionality that deletes the whole thing. You know, so I haven't said that. I hope this is so nice, and I hope you enjoy this. So if you have any comment, just let me know, and you can give me a shout out, and I will implement the corrections, and I would effect the changes. And if you like the video, if you like what you see, and if you want more of this, just let me know. I mean, I can basically start React Native um, tutorial. Just keep dropping how it's been done, keep dropping, keep dropping, keep dropping. And we can have a good time. Basically we can have a good time. So React Native is simple, it's easy. Well, it might be so complex, yes, but if you put your mind to it, you're gonna get it all through. So if you like this video, just let me know. If you have critics, just let me know, please. Like I always say, feedback, no failure. I don't All your feedbacks to me, it's feedbacks, and it gets me better. It makes me go even further and higher. So thank you so much for this time, and have a wonderful day.